Some trucks weren't just strong, they were too powerful for their own good. Machines with so much torque, speed, and brute force that governments had to step in and say, that's enough. From record-breaking haulers to highway monsters that shattered safety limits and defied regulations. These trucks didn't just move loads, they rewrote the rule book. Get ready for the 10 trucks so powerful they were banned in some countries. Because sometimes, too much power really is too much. Number 1. Volvo FH16. The Volvo FH16 is regarded as one of the most powerful production semi-trucks in the world and is often hailed as a marvel of Swedish engineering. This beast is powered by the Volvo D17 16.1-liter inline 6-turbo diesel engine, which can be configured to deliver up to 780 horsepower and 3,800 Newton-meter of torque. Designed for the most demanding haulage scenarios such as timber, mining, and heavy freight, the FH16 is built with a reinforced chassis and an advanced I-shift transmission that optimizes gear shifts for both performance and fuel efficiency. What makes the FH16 truly exceptional is not just its engine, but the comprehensive integration of technologies aimed at comfort, safety, and control. Features include active cruise control, lane keeping support, hill start assist, and even a driver alert system. Despite its luxury-like cab interior with optional leather upholstery and a full-size bed, this truck is built to work hard in extreme environments. However, such power and mass come with limitations. The FH16 is not available in North America or Japan, largely due to regulatory incompatibilities. U.S. federal motor vehicle safety standards impose specific design requirements on bumper height, frontal impact structure, and emission levels. The cab-over design, common in Europe but rare in the U.S., is incompatible with these regulations. The FH16's sheer size and weight also exceed infrastructure limits in several countries. Additionally, emissions rules in countries like Japan, which has stringent NOx and particulate standards, further limit its adoption. In essence, while the Volvo FH16 thrives in Europe, the Middle East, and parts of Africa and Asia, it is effectively banned or unavailable in the United States and other regulated markets. Its incredible performance capabilities are a double-edged sword, making it both a logistics powerhouse and a regulatory outlier. Number 2. Scania R730. The Scania R730 is a European powerhouse that's gained legendary status for combining extreme pulling capacity with an unmatched level of refinement. At the core of this Swedish-built truck is the Scania DC16 V8 engine, a 16.4-liter diesel power plant that generates an eye-watering 730 horsepower and a massive 3,500 Newton-meter of torque. Designed for high-capacity, long-distance freight transport, the R730 excels on steep gradients and in demanding applications like logging, fuel transport, and cross-continental hauls. One of the truck's most distinctive features is its V8 engine, which delivers not only brute strength but also a distinctive sound that drivers often compare to a rumbling muscle car. Paired with Scania's advanced OptiCruise transmission, the truck ensures smooth gear changes and optimal fuel usage despite its high output. It also comes with ergonomic cabin options and advanced driver assist systems, making it both a workhorse and a driver's delight. Despite its superiority on European roads, the Scania R730 is not sold or legally registered in the United States due to a combination of regulatory and design constraints. For one, the U.S. enforces stricter regulations on bumper design and crashworthiness, which the R-Series cab-over layout does not meet. Additionally, the Environmental Protection Agency and California Air Resources Board have emission standards that differ significantly from Euro 6 regulations, making compliance both expensive and complicated. Another reason is market structure. The North American market is dominated by long-nose conventional cabs, and there's little demand for European-style cab-overs. As such, Scania does not invest in the complex homologation needed for U.S. approval. So while the R730 is a favorite among European heavy-haul drivers and fleet managers, it remains prohibited from operation in North America and other regions with divergent regulatory frameworks. Its extreme power and efficiency are sadly lost to markets that cannot accommodate its design or emissions profile. Number 3. Scania S580. The Scania S580 is another V8 beast from Sweden, that exemplifies the fusion of raw power and refined engineering. Featuring the same DC-16 16.4-liter V8 engine as its more powerful sibling, the R730, the S580 is tuned to deliver 580 horsepower and up to 3,000 Nm of torque. Positioned as a slightly more balanced option between performance and efficiency, it is commonly used in long-haul logistics throughout Europe, often pulling double trailers or extremely heavy freight loads over hilly terrain. What sets the S580 apart is its premium S-Series cab, which offers a flat floor, more standing space, and enhanced visibility. The cab is designed for maximum driver comfort during extended trips, featuring climate control, integrated infotainment, and multiple sleeping arrangements. Scania's advanced aerodynamic styling reduces drag, which combined with the high-efficiency V8 makes the S580 a solid option for operators who need power without sacrificing economy. Despite its advantages, the Scania S580 is not available in North America or many other global markets, largely because of compliance issues with local vehicle standards. Its cab-over-engine design, while popular in Europe for its compactness and maneuverability, fails to meet the crash and frontal impact standards in the US. Furthermore, the high-horsepower V8 doesn't align with US emission norms, which prioritize smaller engines with lower emissions profiles. The truck's fuel system, electronics, and safety components would require significant redesign to be sold legally in markets like the United States or Canada. Scania, acknowledging the high cost of regulatory adaptation and low expected return, has never pursued homologation for the US market. This effectively makes the S580 banned by omission in North America and other regions with similar regulatory frameworks. In Europe, however, the S580 thrives, often used in challenging routes like Alpine crossings or Scandinavian timber hauls. Its balanced approach to power and efficiency makes it a favorite among fleet owners who value both capability and comfort. But globally, it's a restricted legend, unable to cross certain borders due to its very power and design excellence. Number 4. Mack Titan. The Mack Titan was built for one purpose: to conquer the most punishing transport conditions on Earth. Introduced in the late 2000s and discontinued in 2017, this American-made brute came equipped with the Mack MP10 16.1-liter diesel engine, capable of producing up to 605 horsepower and a torque output exceeding 2,060 lb/foot. These numbers made the Titan one of the most powerful production trucks in North American history, often deployed in applications like heavy mining, logging, and large equipment transport. Designed primarily for the Australian and North American markets, the Mack Titan featured a long-nose conventional layout with reinforced chassis rails, high-capacity axles, and heavy-duty cooling systems. It could be configured with tri-drive axles, extra fuel capacity, and extreme-duty suspensions for gross combined weights of up to 250,000 lb or more. The truck was built to last under grueling conditions and offered a rugged, Spartan design optimized for performance rather than aesthetics. Yet the Titan's very power and emissions profile became its downfall. The MP10 engine failed to meet the increasingly stringent emission standards set forth by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and European Euro 6 guidelines. Retrofitting such a massive engine to meet modern emissions regulations, like particulate filters and selective catalytic reduction, would have been prohibitively expensive. As a result, Mack officially discontinued the Titan in 2017, citing regulatory costs and declining demand. The Titan was also unsuited for many international markets. In Europe, where axle weights, length restrictions, and CO2 limits are tightly controlled, the Titan's footprint and emissions made it illegal to operate without special permits. Even in the US, the truck became increasingly rare as newer models focused on lighter engines and better fuel economy. In conclusion, the Mack Titan represents a high watermark for raw truck power in North America. But as environmental laws tightened, the Titan became a symbol of a bygone era too powerful and too polluting for modern roads. Number 5. Volvo VNX. The Volvo VNX series was developed as Volvo Trucks North America's answer to extreme heavy-haul demands. Built around the robust D16 16.1-liter inline-six turbo diesel engine, the VNX could produce up to 605 horsepower and 2,050 pound-foot of torque. These figures placed it at the upper limit of what was legally permissible for highway tractors in the United States, aligning it with models like the Mack Titan and Western Star 6900 XD. The VNX wasn't just about brute strength. It also included Volvo's signature safety and comfort features. The cab was equipped with advanced collision mitigation, adaptive cruise control, and Volvo's I-Shift automated manual transmission, specially tuned for heavy-duty applications. Reinforced frames, heavy-duty suspensions, and upgraded cooling systems made the VNX a favorite for extreme hauls such as modular buildings, energy equipment, and oversized construction machinery. Despite its capabilities, the VNX was discontinued in 2017, largely due to changing emissions and regulatory landscapes. The D16 engine could not economically be upgraded to meet future EPA Phase 2 greenhouse gas standards, and market demand was shifting toward lighter, more fuel-efficient platforms. Additionally, Volvo Trucks North America made a strategic decision to focus on their D13-powered VNL and VHD series, which offered better fleet-wide fuel economy and were easier to certify under evolving environmental laws. Outside North America, the VNX never found a home. The large engine size and vehicle weight made it unsuitable for Europe, where tighter axle weight restrictions and smaller vehicle footprints dominate the market. Even in Canada, provinces began limiting the types of loads and roads accessible to ultra-heavy tractors like the VNX without special permits. Today, the VNX serves as a cautionary tale of engineering excellence curtailed by regulatory change. While it was never explicitly banned, the combination of environmental restrictions, changing market dynamics, and strategic repositioning rendered the VNX obsolete. Its production halt effectively removed one of the most powerful legal trucks from the road, illustrating how even peak engineering must adapt or disappear. Number 6. Volvo Iron Knight. The Volvo Iron Knight isn't a commercial workhorse. It's a world record-breaking experiment in what a truck can achieve when unconstrained by emissions or road regulations. Built as a one-off speed demon by Volvo Trucks Sweden, the Iron Knight was designed specifically to break speed records for heavy-duty trucks. Under its aerodynamic fiberglass cab lies a heavily modified Volvo D13 engine, a 13.0-liter inline-six diesel, but with a staggering 4 turbochargers and water-cooled intercoolers. The result? An output of 2,400 horsepower and a jaw-dropping 6,000 Newton-meter of torque. The Iron Knight weighs only 4.5 tons, incredibly light for a semi-truck, thanks to a stripped chassis and weight-optimized materials. The transmission, a version of Volvo's I-Shift dual clutch, was custom-tuned for high-speed performance. The Iron Knight holds 2 FIA world records, the 0 to 500-meter sprint and the 0 to 1,000-meter sprint, reaching top speeds over 170 kilometers per hour. This is equivalent to a supercar performance in a vehicle type more associated with long-haul freight. Of course, none of this comes close to legal road use. The Iron Knight doesn't have emissions control, safety systems, or load-bearing structures for hauling cargo. It's built for the racetrack, and that's exactly where it stays. It is completely banned from public roads, not just in the United States but worldwide. It lacks any of the necessary certifications to be considered a road-legal vehicle. Volvo used the Iron Knight largely for publicity, showcasing its engineering prowess and technological edge in performance, even if the truck is not usable in the real world. Its design elements and drivetrain testing contributed to improvements in production truck software and aerodynamics, but the Iron Knight remains a forbidden machine, never intended to be anything more than a record-setting icon. Number 7. MAN TGX 41.680 XXL. The MAN TGX 41.680 XXL was once the crown jewel of Germany's MAN SE heavy-duty lineup and one of the most powerful production trucks ever sold in Europe. True to its name, the 680 denotes its 680 horsepower delivered by the robust D2086-8 V8 diesel engine, a 16.2-liter Euro 5 rated powerhouse. With a torque rating of 3,000 Newton-meter, the TGX 41.680 was engineered for the most demanding applications, such as transporting wind turbine components, mining machinery, or other extreme payloads requiring special heavy haul permits. The TGX 41.680 was often configured in an 8x4 setup and paired with a ballast box, allowing it to manage gross combination weights of up to 250 tons. Drivers favored its extended XXL sleeper cab, which offered a flat floor, premium interior, and long-haul comforts, a necessity for cross-border hauls across rugged European terrain. MAN's Tipmatic automated transmission further helped distribute torque smoothly under full load, while reinforced axles and a load-distributing suspension kept it compliant with Europe's strict road wear standards. However, the truck's sheer power and emissions output became liabilities. With the introduction of Euro 6 emissions regulations, MAN discontinued the D2868 V8 engine. The new regulations favored smaller, cleaner, inline-six engines with advanced after-treatment systems. As a result, the TGX 41.68A was pulled from the market, and no equivalent model with that level of horsepower has since returned under Euro 6 certification. The truck was never offered in the United States, where EPA rules and different crash safety standards would have made homologation prohibitively expensive. Its cab-over design is also unpopular in North America's long-nose-dominated market. The TGX 41.680 thus remains banned from U.S. roads, and its production halt under Euro 6 means it's largely phased out even in Europe, a casualty of both regulatory evolution and infrastructure limits. Number 8. Oshkosh M1070. Hate. The Oshkosh M1070 heavy equipment transporter is one of the most powerful semi-tractors ever built. But unlike most on this list, it was never intended for civilian roads. Designed specifically for the U.S. Army and NATO allies, the M1070 is responsible for transporting M1 Abrams main battle tanks and other armored vehicles across battlefields and military bases. The original M1070 was equipped with a Detroit diesel 8V92TA, a 12-liter two-stroke diesel V8 engine, delivering 500 horsepower. Later variants like the M1070A1 upgraded to a Caterpillar C18 diesel, offering 700 horsepower and 2,400 lb-ft of torque. The M1070's engineering is extreme. It features an 8x8 drivetrain, off-road suspensions, and a military-spec 2-speed transfer case that allows it to crawl or race depending on terrain. The tractor is paired with a specialized trailer, the PIN10000, which together can carry payloads up to 80 tons. It includes a hydraulic gooseneck, winches, and self-recovery systems. It can even ford shallow rivers and climb steep inclines under combat conditions. Given its purpose, the M1070 is not legal for civilian road use in any country. It lacks emissions controls, road lighting systems, and crash safety features necessary for highway certification. Furthermore, its gross weight, axle configurations, and size far exceed road legal limits in the US, EU, and elsewhere. Only military and defense agencies are authorized to operate it, and even then, it's often limited to off-road or convoy-approved highway routes with police escort. While civilian collectors have occasionally acquired decommissioned M1070s for off-road shows or private use, they remain prohibited from standard registration or road driving. The M1070 represents the pinnacle of military trucking, too large, too powerful, and too specialized for civilian life, and rightly banned from public roads for the safety of everyone else using them. Number 9. Western Star 6900 XD. The Western Star 6900 XD is an ultra-heavy-duty truck designed to conquer the harshest industrial conditions, including mining, logging, and oilfield hauling. It's not your average highway tractor. This truck can be configured to tow payloads exceeding 500,000 lbs, making it one of the most capable vehicles in its class. Engine options include the Detroit DD16, a 15.6-liter inline-six engine rated at up to 600 horsepower and 2,050 pound-foot of torque, or a Cummins ISX-15 alternative with similar specs. What makes the 6900 XD stand out is its modular design, allowing it to be configured as a tractor, chassis cab, or dump truck. It features reinforced triple-frame rails, extreme-duty axles rated up to 110,000 lb, and multiple steerable front axles. Its long raised hood and deep-set grille allow extra airflow to the oversized radiator, crucial for keeping its massive engine cool under load. The 6900 XD is not typically seen on public highways. In fact, it is effectively banned from operating on standard roads in most countries due to its gross weight and oversized configuration. In jurisdictions like the EU, axle weight and turning radius regulations render it illegal without special transport permits. In the US and Canada, it's usually restricted to private sites, mining corridors, or heavily regulated heavy haul routes. Beyond legal limits, the truck size makes it impractical for highway traffic. Maneuvering a 6900 XD in urban settings or even on interstates would pose serious risks to infrastructure and other road users. It also struggles with emissions compliance. Many configurations are exempt under vocational or non-road regulations, limiting their road use. As a result, the 6900 XD thrives in extreme environments, but remains prohibited or restricted on conventional roads, both due to its engineering excess and the infrastructure limits of the regions it might otherwise serve. Number 10. Australian Road Trains. Kenworth Western Star. Australia's road trains are legendary. These behemoths consist of a prime mover, often a Kenworth C509, T909, or Western Star 6900, pulling up to 4 trailers, stretching over 50 meters, 164 feet in total length. Designed for the Australian outback, these road trains carry everything from livestock to mining equipment, often through uninhabited terrain for thousands of kilometers. The trucks powering these trains typically house Cummins X4 or Detroit DD16 engines, each producing 550 to 620 horsepower and over 2,000 pound-foot of torque. In some cases, twin-engine configurations are used, where 2 powered axles work in tandem to handle gross weights well beyond 150 tons. These systems are optimized with cooling upgrades, dual air filters, and enormous fuel capacities to allow weeks of operation between fill-ups. Their durability, redundancy, and endurance make them ideal for Australia's hot, dusty, and rugged interior. However, road trains are completely banned in most countries outside Australia and a few parts of Canada. European Union law, for instance, restricts truck and trailer combinations to 25.25 meters. In the US, the Federal Bridge Formula limits axle loads and trailer configurations, capping most truck-trailer combinations at around 80,000 lbs. Road trains would shatter these limits and are therefore prohibited on public roads in these regions. Even within Australia, road trains are restricted to certain corridors, mostly rural highways in states like Western Australia, Queensland, and the Northern Territory. They require special driver certifications, signage, and often pilot vehicles. The sheer scale of these vehicles makes them unsafe for urban or high-traffic zones. Despite these restrictions, road trains are an essential part of Australian infrastructure. But outside that context, their size, weight, and complexity make them unsuitable and illegal for use, highlighting how context and geography dictate what kinds of extreme engineering are permissible. Power like this doesn't come without consequences, and these trucks prove that even strength has its limits. Which one do you think deserved to stay on the road? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you love extreme machines, forbidden power, and stories from the edge of engineering, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notification for more unbelievable legends from the world of trucking. Thanks for watching. And remember, when you build something this powerful, sometimes the world just can't handle it.